Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 31st Annual Seven Generations Education Institute graduation ceremony. There we go. My name is Mac. I'm an instructor and tutor here at the school. And before we get started, I just wanted to quickly congratulate all the students. I think I've taught most of you. Just want to say I'm proud of you guys and wish you all the success in the future.
Thanks, Mac. And my name's Anthony. I'm the Ontario Learn Coordinator here at Seven Generations. You might remember me as being the Student Services Coordinator in the past, and a few of you I've actually taught as well, Mental Health and Addictions Worker Program. So congratulations. I know it's not easy under any normal circumstances to be able to get through school, and during a pandemic, it's really tough. So congratulations for your hard work, and enjoy tonight. It's going to be fun. Don't be nervous. It's going to be fun. I'm not nervous at all. No. Okay. Also want to thank all the staff, including post-secondary, custodial, administration, the kitchen and training, for all their help setting up this wonderful ceremony and this great event. So thank you so much. Kudos to all of you for your hard work.
Okay, first off, I would like to welcome a good friend of mine, former student and elder, Phyllis Shogabe, up to say opening prayer.
Did you fix it up for me?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay. I'm just gonna wait right here. Okay. Okay. There you go. All right. Bonjour. Acho que nega boy condition ikas. I think do them. Que viaja ga me gejin ka zangu ime kage kwe tishni kaske. Obashkanda gang donji washaga mingation kate nini bibinan we game shogam. Mi wega iguan we kchaag kiwa wind moyat kegu. Mi tush we manungum we kaganut moy naguk we Manitoba itik we kinamati gamig we kagi window swat to go chanish na big mi we ga na nagato indaman we kimita na kami gizyan we te kaijitan ashmi we hesh chiget chanish na be mi te shiebe minish aman genin mi we ni we chishe pasigu igu we gnogum we ge na nandu inagaman we kagip me machi amo to go eshka beyag winge we gimino tamen we gi machi amo at e nanando inagaman kibibag indama tamago manish we bimatezin iwe kibme bibag indama gi to go eshka bes o esa ima nanando e te we gan ki going midash o bimatezin minop matezin we ni chijip museg we ni ge chini chige gabe we no gum git mi ga gisto we ga ich kina mago ise umanongum ani snack chige go ye kap mi chige go apiche we ga music skills ye we gi skito ki kina mago we. Now for everyone to understand me, I'm going to speak English. My name is Phyllis Shagabe. As you can see, I'm wearing the colors that when we graduated from 7 Gens, because I graduated in the social worker program previously. So I want to share that with you. It is here in this building here that I made my commitment to go back to school. We had, I think, a youth gathering at the time, right? We had a youth gathering. And so that is when I made my commitment to go back to school. Because what I wanted was other young people like yourselves and the older ones, the older young adults, to go back to school, finish their high school, go to college, and then on to university, you know? And I wanted to say to the graduates how very important it is what you have completed and the success that you did to complete that. I know it's not easy, but you did it. And you know, a lot of us elders that are out there, the family members, we're all very proud of you for coming here today, you know, to enjoy and to have your success and your graduation blessed. I did some of that work yesterday and today to prepare for that before coming here for you. And the fact that you're here, you know, is just amazing. I just had shivers when you filed in. It's like a grand entry, you know. And the spirit, you know, when I spoke to the spirits, the grandfathers and the grandmothers, you know, they talked about life, even, you know, those 7 grandfather teachings and the life that the grandmother teachings carry, teaches you that in your life, you know, you worked hard to do this, yes, but each day you got up. And today, to bless you is when you finally get up from your chair. In our language is gibazigu, is that they help you to your feet and to stay on your feet, you know, because you're successful and you're celebrating your graduation, and we celebrate that with you. And those grandfathers and grandmothers, they celebrate that with you as well. And I also honored the elders that would join in the celebrations over the years with 7 Gens. Some of them are gone now. And I also honored the name, you know, Manitoba Witik, Kinamati Gamik. I honored that because I was here too and I went to school, you know? And I wanted to honor, you know, the past graduates today and also the current graduates, because you're trailblazers. That's what you are. And the younger ones behind you, and even the older ones that are thinking about returning to school or going to school, you're giving them a chance, giving them that doorway to enter and maybe perhaps come to 7 Gens, So, job well done and congratulations. Okay, we're one. Okay.
Gwetch Phyllis, for your kind words. All right, I'd like to introduce Brent Tukane, the CEO of 7 Generations Education Institute, to speak.
It's pretty good. Bonjour, de way magana duk. Brent or Ogima Benez, Indigo, Nishna Beimong, and Brent Tukani Indijna Ka Jaganeshimo. Guchjing Ndonji, Bijou Ndodem. I'd like to just start off by acknowledging Phyllis for your words and your humor. And also I'd like to be a big shout out to Whitefish Bay singers here. Pretty awesome. I'd also just like to acknowledge Sacred Items and any other elders and chiefs that are in the room. I know Chief Vernon here. Welcome, and any other chiefs if I haven't seen you yet. So today is the first graduation, actual live graduation at Manitou Bawatig. And a request came from the students saying, hey, our families want to come and this and that, whatever. You know what? You're right. Let's try and make this work, and it's a perfect evening, to tell you the truth. Seeing everyone come in and to the drum, it just makes it feel right. And we're doing it the Anishinaabe way, the way that we were taught way back when. And Phyllis's words about the spirits and keeping and helping you rise and stay up there is important words. You are role models, and it makes me proud to stand up here and just say a few words. I obviously don't know everyone personally. It's been challenging times, it was said earlier, through a pandemic and through unprecedented times here, and you guys have battled through, and you're sitting here now, and I want to acknowledge the efforts but I know that you didn't do it alone. I know the people sitting out here, your family members, friends, each other, you supported each other, and were able to help each other rise to the occasion. So congratulations to everyone out there that helped our graduates get to where they're at. I think you guys deserve a huge round of applause as well. I'd like to say thank you to the staff and 7 Generations crew here that made this happen. It looks amazing in here. All the efforts that are made to make this happen. Thank you guys. It shows that
what's really important is about doing things for our students, and that's what Seven Gens is about. I was sitting here standing talking with Phyllis for a few minutes before. We were talking about Delbert Horton, and many of you know Del in the crowd, but maybe some of the graduates who are younger didn't know Del. Del passed on a few years ago, and he was the original CEO of the organization. And we have a plaque down at our Fort Francis campus that honors Del. And the picture we have with it, he's sitting at a graduation and he's smiling because he knows that what he helped start is making a difference in the lives. And I wanted to it just kind of hit me when Phyllis and I were talking about that, is just, Del's here right now. He's acknowledging your efforts and, really feeling proud of what legacy that he's left and that we were able to carry on, all of us together. So really thinking about Del, and this feather here has been in the organization, well, almost 40 years the organization's been in existence. It's here with you as well. So without going on and on about this, because we have, we came here to listen to Teddy Nolan too. So, and we already hammered the Leafs fans in here about their lack of success again. So, but Ted has become a friend. We've been in many events now, and it just made sense to have someone of Ted's integrity and his story and his battles, because he can relate to you guys. And he was telling me earlier, he just 42 years, his anniversary is just recently, and he's got a couple of young men, his sons, Brandon and Jordan, great young men. Talked to them on the internet and set this all up. That he said, Ted said that that's what makes him proudest is his family, and that's what you guys have here. So I'd like to introduce Ted. I think everybody knows his accomplishments. We'd be up here for about another half an hour by the time we got him up here to speak. So I want to turn it over to Ted right now and let him address the graduates. Graduates, thank you for choosing Seven Gens, and all the best.
Well, between what Phyllis said and Brent said, I've not much else to say except for congratulations for all to all the students for all your work and all the efforts that you put forward into this day. And all the family members are here with them to help celebrate that. I just came back from my son's graduation. He played hockey for quite a while. He was very fortunate to win 3 Stanley Cups with 2 with LA and 1 with St. Louis, and just graduated, become a firefighter yesterday. So I know how hard it works, how much work it takes to graduate, and I see it with my own family, and I see it here tonight. So congratulations on all your hard work. I seen the theme somewhere, reach for the stars, I think. Growing up for some of the people who don't know who I am, I grew up in a small First Nation community outside of Sault Ste. Marie. It's called Garden River. And the only thing we had on many nights was looking up in a clear sky and see stars and wondering what life could bring. And every journey begins with that first step. And I try to relate this story to all the students when I speak to them. My first step was a pail of water. It's one step at a time. It's one graduation at a time. It's one event at a time. And I made a rink in my backyard when I was about 8 years old, not knowing where that rink would take me. But one of the first places it took me to was here in Kenora. I played with the Kenora Thistles back a long time ago. But I tell you, that was probably one of the most most eye-opening events of my entire life. You know, coming from Garden River and living near Sault Ste. Marie and going to school there wasn't really that much racism. There wasn't really that much name calling until I came here, and I never seen anything like it in my life. And I used to remember crying myself to sleep on many occasions. My father just passed away the year I came up here when I was only 15 years old. So I was 16 years old and going through that as a young boy. My two brothers came to town I thought to watch me play, but actually they came here to bring me home because we didn't have a phone at the time, so I wrote letters saying how difficult it was, and I didn't go to this school. I went to Beaverbrae for a little while. I didn't go very much, but so my brothers came to town to bring me home, and I'll always remember it like it was yesterday. And they had the car all packed up, and they asked me to hop in the car with them, and I said no. I'm going to stay. As much as I didn't like it, as much as I missed home, I missed everything about it, I didn't want to quit. And I remember writing a letter to my brother about a week later. I said, Steve, I think we're all creatures of habit. If we quit one time, the next time it's going to become easier to quit. So I stuck it out, and thankfully I did, because the next year I went back home to Sault Ste. Marie. I played with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, had a chance to play with Wayne Gretzky. A year after that, I got drafted to the National Hockey League. I played with Detroit Red Wings and Stevie Yzerman. I got traded to Pittsburgh and played with Mario Lemieux. Had a chance to play in Madison Square Gardens, and place even with the Maple Leafs where they play too. Maple Leaf Gardens, Chicago Stadium, and all those places. And I reflect back now, all those things would never have happened if I would have just quit and went home. And I even had a chance to coach in the National Hockey League. I won Coach of the Year in 1996 with the Buffalo Sabres. And then that's where you think life would really begin. But I think that's where life for me really began. Because after I won the Coach of the Year, we parted ways. There was no contract offer to the next thing, and I was lost for a couple of years. I was frustrated. I was angry. I was wondering why people would not give a person another opportunity. And in other ways, I felt sorry for myself. Probably the biggest mistake I ever did in my life. But I went to a movie. I went to a movie one day, and I watched the story about Muhammad Ali and some of the hurdles and obstacles that he had to face through his career. And I walked out of that movie theater a changed man. I walked out and I seen he was a world champion, and they took away his boxing license. They kicked him out of the faith that he was belonging to. And here I was complaining about losing a coaching job, which on a big scale of things wasn't really that important. So I went home and I called up a bunch of my friends, and I said, I got an idea. I said, why don't we form a golf tournament? We raise some money, and we'll give it out to some people. And they thought I was going to do it for sporting events. And that was the start. We started with the Ted Nolan Golf Tournament, and we raised money for our First Nation women in Northern Ontario. And in 2004, we started the Ted Nolan Foundation. And to this day, I'm very proud of it. We probably give out close to $2 to $3 million with First Nation women's education, not just in Ontario, but right across Canada. So if I look at all the things that I was able to do in life, that was probably one of the most important situations, because we all know, well, we should know how important our women are. My mom was very instrumental in my life and in teaching me who I was as a Anishinaabe, and taking me to powwows. And when she was tragically killed in a drunk driving accident in 1981, I was only 20 years old. That really hurt. It took a long time to even talk about it. But once we were able to get over the hurt, we established a foundation, and we raised almost $3 million. So that's probably the most proud besides having my kids and my wife, obviously. But that was a lot of fun. And I got over the hurt of coaching. I didn't think coaching would ever happen again. I was happy doing what I was doing. Then to all the young students, you never know what life's going to bring. You just never know. And I'm sitting at home and I get a call one night from Mr. Robert Irving from Irving Oil. And I knew who he was, but I didn't know he owned the Moncton Wildcats. And he had in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. But at that time, I wasn't coaching. I didn't coach for about 10 years. And Robert asked me to come coach his team. And I was nervous as heck. I wasn't too sure if I knew how to coach anymore. Anyways, I went there and we won the league championship. I got back into the NHL. I coached with the New York Islanders, and I even had a chance to go to a little country overseas called Latvia and coach at the Olympic Games. So the point there, you just never know how life's going to treat you. Sometimes it could treat you fair, and sometimes it's unfair. But the biggest thing is not to give up. You know, I went through a lot of obstacles in my life. Raising my family and my two boys, and the one thing I've come to realize when you do presentations anymore. I used to talk about my first goal I scored and all the stuff in hockey, but I come to realize that that really wasn't really important. The important what I think young kids want to know is how. You know, I kept asking myself, how does somebody make it? And so I want to leave you with 4 of the things that I thought that really helped me in my life. It's not magic. It's anybody can do it. You don't have to be rich to do it. So I like to leave you with the 4 things that I think is really important. Is number 1 is work. Make sure you work. Don't be afraid of work. There's no substitute for it. Try to get there early and stay late and work as hard as you can. And number 2 is perseverance. Don't give up. I mean, one of the easiest things we do sometimes in life when life throws us a curveball, we want to quit. We want to go back to somewhere that's comfortable. And when I was in Kenora, I didn't even know what the word meant, perseverance. When I was here in Kenora, one of the things I really wanted to do, I wanted to go home. I missed my family. I missed my friends. I didn't like being bullied. I didn't like fighting all the time. But I stuck it out. And eventually, a month later, 2 months later, I actually created some friends on the team, and then it led to my career. So number 1 is work, and number 2 is perseverance, and number 3 is what we're doing here is knowledge. Don't let anybody ever tell you can't do something. People have been telling us for years and years and years that we can't do certain things. I don't believe in the word can't. I never did. When I was growing up in Garden River, I never made one AAA hockey team. I never made one AA hockey team. I don't even think I made single A. I played house league hockey my whole life, and people kept saying I wasn't good enough, and I just I didn't believe them. There's times in life that you might not know how. That doesn't mean you can't. You just got to learn how to. And by coming to institutes like this is where you learn how to and you flourish. And number 4 is my favorite. I know we got a big night ahead of us, so I won't talk too long. But my number 4 is belief. You got to believe in what you're doing, because I think the belief is the most magical thing that we have inside. When someone doesn't believe it in you, and someone doesn't believe what you're doing, but as long as you believe, and it's amazing what you can do. And I'll leave you with one really quick story I try to tell everywhere I go across the land, because I think it's so important. When I was coaching the Buffalo Sabres, one of the players walked up to me and he said, "Ted, I watched a movie last night." He said, "Coach, I watched a movie last night called Dance with Wolves. You ever see it?" I said, "Yeah." I saw it a couple times. So they had a medicine man on camera, and he says, "Medicine man pretty powerful?" I said, I think so. And he said, "Well, the Ottawa Senators have a Buddha in their dressing room to give them power to do well in the playoffs." And he said, "Do you think a medicine man is more powerful than a Buddha?" I said, I'm not too sure. But he said, can you bring a medicine man to us? And this is one of the most fabulous things that I've seen in professional sport that I've been involved with. We're playing against the Detroit Red Wings, We fly into Detroit from Buffalo on a private jet, on a private airplane that have chefs and cooks, and we stay at a 5-star hotel that's toilets are even warmed up before you sit down on them. You get nutritionists, you get conditioning coaches, the best of the best in the National Hockey League and all the top leagues. And here I was in Detroit Red Wings. I called up a good friend of mine, Jake Pine was his name. And who recently passed away, but I asked Jake to come down to Detroit because the boys wanted to do ceremony. And Jake came into the dressing room in the locker room that we were in playing in the Joe Louis Arena, and he did a ceremony. You could hear a pin drop. The players were watching. He was cleansing all the players with his sage and tobacco, and he did it all in our language, and I thought it was just a magical thing. And anyways, one of the players after it was all completed. Walked up to him, and anybody who has athletes in this room know how superstitious athletes are. And the player walked up to the medicine man and said, "Geez, I haven't scored a goal in about a month and a half." He said, "You got anything in that bag of tricks of yours to help me score a goal?" So Jake pulls out a little tobacco and he sprinkles his stick. Sure enough, that night the player scored a goal. We lost the game 3-2, but the player scored a goal. And we go back to Buffalo the next night. And right before the game, there's a knock on my door, and the same player says, "Hey, coach, you have any more of that medicine?" so I sprinkled it again, and sure enough, he scores a goal. And about 2 nights later, there's another knock, and as this thing kept going, so anyways, there's a knock. Third game later, the same player, but this time he has 3 buddies with him. And these guys are all making $3 million, $4 million a year. And as educators and as teachers and as chiefs and as people who lead, there's moments in our life that we have a chance to make a difference. And so anyways, they had their sticks over my desk, and I kicked them back out into the room. And I went back into the locker room, and I put all their sticks in the middle, and I remembered what Jake was saying. I don't speak our language as well as I would like to, but I know enough to get by, and I did a lesson plan that week. So I wanted to do the ceremony just like Jake did. So I had all the sticks in the middle of the room. I had my tobacco, and I walked around. All the players were looking at me with those big eyeballs, and I said, "Bean again, come in, nam them in, sit down. Nibi Shabo, now Yahweh Min Quinn, go and drink some tea. Wheat corn, a hat. Sham de mush, feed the dog." So that was my lesson plan. So I walked around the sticks and I said, "Bean again, nam them in, Nibi Shabo, now Yahweh Min Quinn. Sham de mush." And I grabbed all the tobacco and I threw it on the sticks, and the players were looking at me too, just like with their big eyeballs, and they thought I was calling in the spirits. They definitely did. And anyways, they picked up the sticks. I remember we played the Philadelphia Flyers that night, and we waxed them. I mean, we wasn't even close. We beat them 7-2. And I think we won the next 17 of our next 18 games. We won the Northeast Division title. I won Coach of the Year, and everybody says, "What's your trick?" It has nothing to do with tricks. I think it has something to do with caring. And I think if you care about the people that you're working with, and you give them good instructions and you give them a good foundation, things are going to work out just fine. And I know with all the work, all the graduates who just did here, and all the magic that you learned here, it's going to serve you well in life. And as the slogan says, reach for the stars, boy. There's nothing out there. Don't let anybody ever tell you you can't do something, because I really believe that you can. You just got to learn how to. So Brent, I really want to thank you for asking me to be part of your special day. And it's really special for me to come and see our young people get themselves some really good education and make our community strong. Because like I said, education is such an important thing that's lacking in some of our communities, and there's so much for us to look forward to, and we're going to get to the next stage of our lives through our young people. And congratulations for all your hard work once again, and I'm looking forward to watching all the ceremony. So thanks very much for inviting me.
I'm not Ted Nolan. I don't know how you follow up to that. That was great. Thank you for your inspirational words, and really appreciate you being here for this. Okay, I'd like to call up Judy Manitowabi of Kenora College to the stage to present a gift she has brought for the Manitowoc campus.
Ani Bujo, Judy Manitowabi, Indigenous Cause, Makwatodam, Vising Dojba, Kenora College, Nucky. I'd like to ask Brett to come up. In the spirit of gift giving, we know when we come to a different territory as Anishinaabe, and in the spirit of gift giving and partnership with Kenora College, where I work, I'd like to present Kenora Campus 7 Generations Educational Institute a gift for you all, and know that Kenora College believes in this campus and everything we do for our people all across this area, all the Anishinaabe. So, Chimigwech, Brent.
Thanks so much, Judy. Awesome. You guys know.
I would like to introduce the Minister of Indigenous Services and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Northern Ontario. The Honourable Patty Haidu was first elected as the Member of Parliament for Thunder Bay Superior North in 2015. She has previously served as Minister of Health, Minister of Employment, Workforce Development and Labour, and Minister of Status of Women. Minister Haidu is a strong advocate for women's rights, youth employment, and affordable housing. Before entering politics, Minister Haidu was the Executive Director of Shelter House Thunder Bay and the co-author of the Thunder Bay Drug Strategy. She also previously worked in public health and focused on drug policy, youth development, and homelessness. She is a compassionate advocate for Thunder Bay Superior North and all of Canada, believing that a more inclusive country benefits everyone. As a Member of Parliament, she remains firmly focused on ensuring every Canadian has a fair shot at success. Minister Haidu is a graduate of Lakehead University and earned a master's degree in public administration from the University of Victoria.
Hi everyone, I am so happy to be able to say congratulations to all of you graduates who have made it through what could be said as one of the most difficult times to actually make it through education programs in the middle of a pandemic. But your persistence, your insistence actually on setting a path for yourselves and the future generations to come is admirable. I want to congratulate you for sticking with it, even in those dark times, which I am sure many of you have experienced. But this is an incredible accomplishment, one you should be very proud of, and one that you should also know will set the future generations in your family on the right path.
I'd like to now introduce Member of Parliament Marcus Pawlowski. Before being elected the Member of Parliament for Thunder Bay Rainy River in 2019, Marcus served in a number of roles as a medical doctor, including most recently working as a physician in the emergency room at Thunder Bay Regional Health Science Centre. Marcus also practiced medicine for 2 years in Northern First Nations communities and for 7 years in Swaziland, the Gambia, Papua New Guinea, and Vanuatu. He also worked as a consultant in health legislation for the World Health Organization. In addition to practicing medicine, Marcus has also earned a law degree, Masters of Public Health in Health Law and Policy, and a Master's of Law, and has taught at several universities, including Lakehead University and the University of San Francisco. Marcus currently sits on the Standing Committee for Health and the Standing Committee for Indigenous and Northern Affairs, in which he advocates for government accountability, transparency, and the interests of Northwestern Ontario.
like to congratulate all the graduates of the 7 Generations program. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there for your graduations as I have commitments here in Ottawa. I was in Fort Francis touring the area, looking at the damage from the rains on the weekend. I really want to congratulate each of the graduates. I know a lot of you perhaps had tough roads in life and you've had to overcome a lot. However, I think with the time here, I'm certain you've learned some valuable skills which will be indispensable for you as you go forward, and especially in finding a good job. So I think this is the first step of many steps, but I think it was certainly a great decision to have gone to 7 Generations. Now you've completed your course. Congratulations. I wish you well in the future, and I'm pretty confident with the education you've had at 7 Generations, the future looks bright for you. Congratulations again.
Okay, next, this year's valedictorian, is a supportive classmate, an academically and socially responsible student, and has contributed and influenced students locally and internationally. This individual participated in the Student Cultural Exchange organized by Sioux College in Mexico. They are an outstanding peer and role model, as they were a constant source of help and positivity in their class and around the school. The valedictorian is Stacy Anderson. Come on up, Stacy.
I have a word for you. And then I have a momentary word for you after, too. Okay. So congratulations.
Good evening to our guests and my fellow graduates. I would like to begin by thanking all of the faculty and supporting staff at 7 Generations for demonstrating a genuine concern for our well-being and always assisting us towards our success during these last couple of years. Thank you, seriously. It's a unique and interesting experience to begin a college program in the midst of a pandemic. I remember in the beginning being really unsure of my decision to attend college and thought to myself often, is this really a good idea? What if we have another lockdown? What if it's a waste of time and money? And then of course some familiar self-doubt crept in. What if I suck? What if I can't relate to anyone? What if I'm making the wrong choice? Evidently, I pushed forward with college because I knew it was something that I wanted to accomplish. And I'm so happy that I did. What makes me even more happy is not just that I went through with college, but that I chose to be led by my dreams when making those decisions. My love for children and helping others was able to trump familiar feelings of insecurity and fear, and that is something to recognize and to celebrate. Now, it hasn't been an easy ride for us. Although most of our lessons were delivered via Zoom, which I absolutely loved, by the way, there were many unfamiliar things that we had to contend with while gaining our education. All of the new policies, wearing the required PPE, constant COVID screenings, and the ever-changing protocols that eventually became the new normal took their toll on us. Our wallets, our relationships, our mental health, and for some of us, our physical health suffered during this time. It was exhausting and simply annoying at times. Have you traveled outside of Canada in the past 14 days? Have you had close contact with someone who has a confirmed case of COVID? Are you experiencing new or worsening cough, difficulty breathing, sore throat, or an unprovoked and hysterical crying fit while driving home from work today? That last one was just to see if you're still with me. Although it was at times challenging, frustrating, and overwhelming for us to get through with it, it was important and essential in maintaining the health of our population. I hated having to get the vaccines and putting a mask over my face every single day. But we did it, because the actions that we take today influence our lives tomorrow. Similarly, all of the classes, assignments, deadlines, and obligations that we have taken on during our college careers were at times seemingly impossible and overwhelming, but nonetheless important and essential for our success. And we've fulfilled what was expected of us because the actions that we take today influence our lives tomorrow. And we've come to realize that the outcome is important to us. And in order to honor, value, and accomplish our goals, we must put in the work. We have to be able to overcome uncomfortable, undesirable situations or obligations and make the necessary sacrifices in what we choose to think, say, and do today so we can carve out a successful and meaningful future tomorrow. Everything we do has consequences, and when we recognize that fact, we understand that it's the choices that we make that lead to whether or not those consequences are favorable for us. Jim Quick said it best when he said, and I quote, "What we don't change, we choose." Now, there were many interesting things that I learned and participated in along the way. It wasn't all a chore. I learned all about the development of children, how they learn best, how to protect them, and how to uphold their rights. Last Halloween, our ECE class put together a fundraiser and winter clothing drive to help support those who need it the most. And its success far exceeded my expectations. I also learned that I can actually write a pretty decent essay, and that provided me with the opportunity to travel to Mexico with Sioux College and have one of the most unique and special experiences I've ever had. We students have been able to make connections within the college, our chosen field of work, and within the community overall. I believe that all of us graduating here today are examples of making thoughtful, responsible, sacrificial, and ultimately correct choices, even if it didn't always feel like it at the time. Fellow graduates, I congratulate you all for your hard work that you've put in and the choices that you've made that have brought you right here today. Thank you.
Awesome, Stacy. Okay, for our next award, I'd like to welcome up Sean Taggart and Jordan Bosford to help present. Okay, and our second award is awarded to an Outstanding Achievement Award at the secondary school level. That goes to Peter Papal. Come on up, Peter. Thanks, Peter. Awesome. Okay, next, we'd like to recognize the highest academic achievement award at the college level. I know the student well because she'd be quick to point out over Zoom if my facial hair was getting too long or my hair was getting too long. So I'm glad to welcome Sabrina Lira.
All right, thank you. We will now have the presentation of the Ontario Secondary School Diplomas, College Certificates, and Diplomas. Graduates, when your program is called, our ushers will guide you to the stage to form a line before the stairs in the order that you're seated. When it's your turn, please give the reader, Julia, your name card for her to read. After you receive your diploma, please cross the stage where family and guests can take a photo, then descend the stairs on the other side where you'll be greeted by another usher who will direct you to a graduate photo area and then back to your seat. Please return to your seat promptly to watch the rest of the graduates receive their diplomas.
Okay, may I have the Ontario Secondary School Diploma recipients please form a line at the stairs of the stage in the order that you were seated. Okay, the Ontario Secondary School Diploma recipients are?
Alexander Green. Alexander would like to look into post-secondary schooling. Peter Papom. Peter plans to pursue a better life for his family and for himself.
It is now time to award the college certificates and diplomas. We'll begin with graduate presentations from Kenora College certificate and diploma programs. At this time, I would like to call Judy Manitowabi, Director, First People Center and Indigenous Engagement, and Sarah Julian, First People Center Manager of Community-Based and Contract Training of Kenora College, and Angela Mainville, along with Annie Ashdown and Rhonda Miller, Program Coordinators, up to the stage to present graduates with their achievements.
Okay, we would like to now present the Mental Health and Addictions Worker Diplomas. May I? Yeah. Perfect. May I please have the Mental Health and Addictions Worker recipients please form a line at the stairs of the stage in the order that you were seated. The Mental Health and Addictions Worker Diploma recipients from Kenora College are?
Michaela Belanger. Michaela is looking forward to helping her community. Mandy Bouchard. Mandy is graduating with honors. She says she's looking forward to helping people with mental health and addiction issues in her community, and she thanks Seven Generations and the staff for helping make it possible. Kendra Downwind. Kendra is graduating with honors. She's from Rat Portage and Moose is her clan. She's a beginning student in many things, and finishing this course has only started the learning. Cody Green. Cody will be taking a year off work and then bringing the treatment center to her home community. Woo! Alicia Kijik. Nadia is graduating with honors. She will continue in education to become a mental health counselor while investing more time in creating art and connecting with culture and community. Congratulations. Sabrina Lira. Woo! Sabrina is graduating with honors, and she plans to continue working in child welfare.
Oh yeah. I'm all anxious. Thank you.
Jillian Pulse. Jillian is graduating with honors, and she plans to work in communities helping people heal.
We would like to now present the Police Foundation's diplomas. May I have the Police Foundation's recipients please form a line at the stairs of the stage in the order that you were seated. The Police Foundation's diploma recipients from Kenora College are
Carrie Hunter. Carrie is graduating with honors, and she'll continue working at the courthouse and then return to school in the fall to obtain her Community and Justice Services diploma. Erin Kavanaugh. Erin hopes to become a police officer after graduation.
Thank you, Judy and Sarah. You can be seated.
You can stay too.
I think they were talking.
Yeah, we were talking. Sorry.
Yes, thank you, Judy and Sarah. You can be seated. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I would like to call Maureen McLeod, Indigenous Student Counselor of Sioux College, up to the stage to present the Sioux College diplomas. May I have the early childhood education diploma recipients please form a line at the stairs of the stage in the order that you were seated. The early childhood education diploma recipients from Sioux College are
Your valedictorian, Stacey Anderson. Stacey is graduating with honors and distinction. She plans to work part-time as an ECE and eventually go back to school. Taylor Carlson. Taylor is also graduating with honors, and she's going to continue working in kindergarten and at Firefly. Delaney Dixon. Delaney will continue working in child care centers and expand knowledge in child development. That's my niece and I love you. Nadia Imran. Nadia plans to open a home care center and continue to learn and grow. Sheridan Kozlowski. Sheridan is graduating with distinction. And she's going to continue working in childcare and expand her knowledge in child development. Jillian Turcott. Jillian is graduating with distinction, and she will continue to work as an EA and eventually an ECE before going back for her Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Education. Jocelyn White. Jocelyn continues to be driven and inspired by her brother and hopes to one day be a devoted educator, just like he was.
May I now have the hairstyling diploma recipients please form a line at the stairs of the stage in the order that you were seated. The hairstyling diploma recipients from Sioux College are
Brianna Barron. Brianna is currently working in the field and will one day open her own salon. Kendall Gray. Kendall is graduating with distinction. She's currently working at a local salon and intends to open her own one day. Taya Lavoie. Taya is graduating with honors. She's currently working as an apprentice at a local salon and hopes to be a fully licensed hairstylist soon. Lauren Redsky. Lauren hopes to find employment at a local salon. Kate Woods. Kate is graduating with distinction and she'll continue learning more services to help people feel the best they can about themselves.
Thank you, Maureen, Angela, and Rhonda. Sorry, I think there was supposed to be an interlude here as we wait for the rest of the graduates. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been great. I can do this again.
Start at the top. Sing us a song.
A song? No, you don't want me to sing.
You're Mickey Mouse voice.
No. Mac, did you have a few words? Did you want to? Yeah, but I have to wait until all graduates are seated. See, there's a script here. Yeah, it's not highlighted. We're not supposed to say that, but.
I got one. What's the favorite letter in the alphabet of a pirate? R. I think it's the R, but it's the C. Yes?
Wow.
I nailed it. I told you I nailed it.
I'm supposed to tell one now? I told a few earlier today, we were actually having a conversation on what we would say if we had this kind of moment. So I don't know if this one's really funny at all, but Why does Waldo wear stripes? So he isn't spotted. Yeah. Where's Waldo? You know the books? Yeah. That was a dad joke, apparently. All right, is that everybody? Is that all the graduates? How many more? We got? Are all the chairs being? 2 more. Okay, 2 more. By the 2 chairs that are empty, yes. Mac, you got one?
No jokes.
We're co-emceeing, but apparently he didn't bring his own set of jokes. It's all good. You know, if I just stood to the side, then people wouldn't be looking at me.
I can give this.
I don't know if I trust it.
What?
I don't know if I trust it.
It would be very good.
Okay, we got one more. I'm usually not very good at ad-libbing things, but this was a lot of work for a lot of people here, and I'm very happy how it's turned out, and I think we all should be very proud of what we're able to accomplish here, because 2020, we didn't even have one. In 2021, we were online. 2022, here we are at a couple different campuses, and it's just great to see people in person. Like I mentioned earlier, I taught some of a course with the mental health addictions worker, and it was all online. It was a big shift for all of us, and so it's just really special to have you all here in person for graduation. And yeah, I can't wait for your futures. If you decide to go back to school, that's fine too. I did that twice. So whatever you decide to do in your future, just do it. Ted Nolan had lots of great advice. Ted, again, thank you for your inspirational words, much better than me.
You were a really good teacher, Anthony. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sabrina said you're over.
That was all right, average. All right, is that everybody? We're good. All right. We'd like to present to you the 7 Generations Education Institute's Manitou Bauateg campus graduating class of 2022. This concludes our graduation ceremony. After our elder Phyllis Shagabe says the closing blessing and our closing song is done, graduates, please return your gowns and collect your gift from our gift table for post-secondary grads and charcuterie board for both secondary and post-secondary.
Miigwech, I want to thank Mac and Anthony, and I can be a force to be reckoned with, I guess.
You got
At these two young men, have really enjoyed their company, and Mac, Anthony was always there. I'm sending email messages galore to Anthony when I was in school. He's always answered them, And Mac, he was, so helpful, kind, and yeah, him and I, we tease each other, back and forth. That's just the way it was. But I enjoyed the way he taught us, and how, some of the teachers in the classrooms, they were right there to support us. And I'm sure that the graduates here today, had that same or similar experience, with your instructors and the staff. Rhonda, she was right there. The teachers were right there to make sure that we had every support that was necessary for us students. So I had a very good experience when I look back, and I'm certain that you will look back as well and realize, that when you went, to school every day, or like Max said, you're never here, but you pass all your tests, but you're never here, So that's why I was saying I was the trouble student, And but just like I wanted to mention that some of you might be young parents, with small children at home, and some of you, like I know for a fact, Peter was working with our COVID team in the community, and he was working at the checkpoint during that time while he was going to school. And they have a little boy. So I know some of you, went through a lot, with your family responsibilities, work responsibilities, and your studies, because the same thing happened to me. We took in a 2-month-old, and I ended up being the caregiver to that 2-month-old. So, and that's why I missed a lot of class. It's my niece's baby, my great niece. We still have her today. My daughter is looking after her, thank God. No, just kidding. I used to fall asleep, so I can just imagine, like I would tell the young parents out there that were in Zoom class when they realized that I had this little baby with me. And I was telling them, it's just amazing what you do in your life as young people. And, younger people have a lot more energy, but you know what? You get tired, so you sleep when you can, at night. Not like me, because I have other responsibilities in life, and I was taking calls from youth, that are maybe thinking about suicide. So that's what I was doing while I was going to school, and it was one of my instructors that told me straight out, Phyllis, you got to take self-care leave, and I want to thank that instructor, for being so wise and so kind to me, and to tell me, you need to take some time out and take care of yourself. And so I never stopped. I'm still at home, trying to take care of myself. Now I'm back being busy, but I now learn, to take some self-care time. So I hope that you are doing that for yourselves. I mean, this is graduation. Maybe some of you are going to return to work right away, but take some time out to take care of yourselves. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Because you deserve that. And you deserve a well-being, so that you can continue on this journey of learning and perhaps, now entering the workforce. So I want to just say again, congratulations, because, all those doors are going to be open for you now, When I finished, I had several doors open for me, One of them, I decided to step back and allow another younger person to take that work, I mean, I worked, hard all my life, and I'm already working still with what I do as an elder advisor and with the healing ceremonies. But it's just, unbelievable what you can do when you want to do it, And the motivation is the one thing you must have had, experience with motivation to go every day or to get up, and start doing that work, to learn about that topic or, to do that report, and you did it. So this is why you're sitting here today as a graduate, So a pat on your back is well deserved. So I just want to say a little prayer in my language for all of us here today. Anishna we ne mishomis we kokumisnan. Igamigagi somen. We nongom. We Manitoba tigo we kinama ti igamig. O manongom gajigano endaswig. Anishna miyogo we nongom. Kagip me kagich inda nongom. We kchiwe ne. We minikaja gajik shkie ziat we gimigish toat we oge kinamago inia. We ge atewe gan we gap me bibag in the market we minop matazin. Kishiatazin in akhe. We tashke engage ganot mag we go kobisagi me shom sinanig we ni chiji ganob mi go isya chiji ganob mek we ni ge chiji moseat we ni ge genik shke isyat we ge go ani eshtigeat we ge we mat nokiat we chipme we ni we nogum chipme eshtigeat we ge otenoy magania oni chansya we kinawaya gapmito kagwat ke uma kinamati gamik mitanan kiot migwach dikit ke we saga ka kinota gisot uma ka pigagi gitot anishna mi enen dago we gewi no we nongo mama gibe mi ganoni goak higagi so mi we ka shikski sieg we gikskitoeg we chip mi ganchkai we gishik kinamagoeg chigego ia Anishna gimishom sinan wege wokomisnan we ni gab mi gano pa mi guag igab mi ma mi gwe chiguag we gib mi jek chanukieg we gib mi jek skitchige we kikski is it anishnabe we ni ge ni jek gwe bi mosei gitashna ni ga ni nakke mi gwech kitigo mi gwech.
Thanks, folks.
Yeah, thank you. If you could help me before I fall down.
Here, follow me. Significant couple or?
None of us noticed. You're a beautiful human, so thank you. I graduated last year.
Yeah.